what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mix It Up podcast. I am Mike. That is Nick.
Mike, before we start, you think maybe we should change the name to the Mix It Down podcast next year?
The Mix It Down.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
I like up. Up sounds more uplifting. The down sounds like, oh shit, the Mix It Up down.
No, not the Mix It Up Down, Mike. The Mix It Down.
Oh, the mix. Oh, wait, the mix. That's what I mean. The mix it down. No, the mix. See what I mean? The mix it up just sounds. It rolls off the tongue like really nice. That I
Yeah,
even put down after the up. So
right.
you can't. You really can't do it.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if we do the mix it down,
yeah.
it'll just be like really down topics, and nobody would like it because it would make people really upset and jump off the bridge.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't want that.
We'll keep it this way.
But we do need a good logo to come up with. I've been trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Eugene sends us the most ridiculous pictures, and he says, um, this is for your new art for your new fucking podcast logo. It's like a mound of dirt. I think he said. I think he sent us a couple leaves one time,
Maybe.
like a bush or whatever. I was thinking maybe like some of your pictures you have from upstate with the fire, that big
Ooh.
fire, like something in the middle,
Yeah.
that in the background, and something like I don't know. You can't have the girl mixing up the flour or whatever in a pit of fire, but I'm sure there could be something.
Could be something for sure. There's a website called unsplash.com, which you could use all the pictures on there. It's phenomenal. So I actually tonight I actually finished my poetry book. I don't know if I spoke about it on here
Yeah, you
before,
did.
right? I finished the last pictures of it. So and I used Unsplash and I I put like the thank you. I put a big shout out to like the Unsplash community because people just put pictures up there that you're allowed to use for free. You could make money off them. You could do whatever you want with them, you know?
Okay.
I guess it's a way for artists to get their name out there, you know. It's not always about just making money. It's about getting your art out there and sharing it. So that's cool. But
Should
we
we
could
look for
definitely
one?
what?
Should we look for one on there?
That's what I just tried looking it up. But like I typed in like baking and baking a cake and you know
Mixing.
there's tons of pictures on here.
Yeah, would the key words would be mixing, up, and podcast, I guess. Those are like the three key words that I would do in a search engine and logos.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could figure something out and then kind of just maybe combine them or something like that.
Yeah,
But
if anybody has out there that listens to the show has any like good ideas, talk
yeah,
about good ideas.
right.
All right, Eugene, send it our way.
Yeah. So I just want to break into one topic. So if I the Mike texted me like we were like, oh, it's going at 9, and Mike was like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. I'm ready. And I was like, sure, Mike, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, which obviously I wasn't because I was working on my book and realistically I thought I was just gonna put it to the side. And I for some reason I just very forgetful about the podcast lately. Mike thinks I lied and was didn't forget about the podcast when I went to Candlelight the other day.
Right.
But I get caught up in stuff when I'm working, and the time kind of flies when you're working. So I looked down at the phone. I was like, "Holy shit! I got to do the podcast." It was like 8:50, and Mike was like, "Oh, I'm already doing the podcast, you dirtbag piece of shit." And I was like, "All right." So I was like, "I'll join," but he lied to me. So we started the podcast at the time. But I'm digressing for the topic here. So I finished my book,
Good.
and
I'm
don't
glad it
ask.
was out. I'm glad it was worth my time that
It
you were able
was.
to do it.
I made it on time to our regular scheduled time, dickwad.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Right.
fair.
So I don't know why this movie popped into my head out of nowhere. Okay. There was a movie called Beautiful Creatures. As soon as I was done with this fucking, well, I have one more thing left. I have to get a picture. So the poetry book, I made pictures and shit like that. So I have to get a picture for the thank you page. But this movie popped in my head. It's really powerful scene in the movie. It's the end. So apparently, like the girl in the movie is like she's some sort of witch or whatever, and she's fighting the bad power in her. And she falls in love with this dude. And she has to wipe his memory clear. Basically, pretty much I don't remember the exact reason why, but it's for his own benefit. But at the end,
Don't they all do that?
what the witches, yeah. So at the end, he's like,
Girls,
well, oh yeah, the what women, what they
just
wipe your
women in
memory,
general. Yeah, they try to wipe our mind clean from the little kids we used to be.
right?
This here and there. So please continue.
Neither here nor there. So he sees her at the end and he's like, "Oh, hi, I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't have a chance to get to know each other. I'm going off to college or whatever." So he picks up a book and he goes, "What's this?" And she goes, "Oh, it's just a book of poems." Right? And I was like, I just finished this book of poetry and I'm like, why did I go on to this just now? Why did that fucking pop into my head, right? Do I remember that? I know I remembered that scene. I didn't remember that it was a book of poems that he picked up, right? So then she goes, "Keep it." And he's like, "All right, cool." So then he's driving off and he's with his buddy. They're going to college. And then he sees something that happened. Like she lit a sign, like a road sign on fire, and it just hit him. And he stops the car and he just screams out her name. He's like, "Lena." And she hears it too. She was like in the middle of becoming like a full-on witch. And she was like, "No, fuck this." That's the end of the movie. But I guess the moral of the story here is it's
Thanks for
just
ruining it.
weird that I just finished my poetry book and that scene popped in my head and they're talking about a book of poems.
Isn't it ironic? Don't
Don't
you
you
think?
think? Yeah. Yeah. Something else happened in on YouTube as well, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into
Okay.
it.
All right. All right. I got you. Hey, listen, who knows what's fuck going? I had a crazy fucking dream. Crazy dreams the other night, right?
Yeah.
So I was dreaming of an ex-girlfriend of mine from a while ago, right?
Ooh, she got a big
And
butt.
she had a nice little butt,
Yeah.
you know, nice brunette, you know what I mean? But that's typical with the girls I date.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know why I started dreaming about her, but it was called like the dream was like really good. I was like, oh my God. Like in the dream, like I think I loved her in the dream. I was like, wow, even more than in real life, I believe.
Okay.
In the dream, I was like, wow, I really feel like strongly for you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like in the dream, like I blew my chance because she was with somebody else.
Okay.
And you know who she was with?
Crazy Chris.
No, Rob Gronkowski, the former tight end from the New England Patriots. So
I don't blame her, honestly.
that's what I said in the dream. I was like, listen, I know he's about 8 feet tall, 250 pounds.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like I'm literally half the man he is.
Yes. In
And
all aspects, all facets of life.
oh yeah, trust me, he could spike my head if he wanted to. And I was just like, and I was looking at her. I was like, you know what? I love you so much. And this is what I was telling her in the thing. I really love you so much that I just want you to be happy. I'm like, and in my dream, I was like, go be with Gronk. I'm like, go be with Gronk.
Yeah.
I kept calling him fucking Gronk.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, I am gonna go be with Gronk. And I'm like, good. I'm like, I'm glad you're happy. It makes me happy. And I was like, and I was really so full of it. I was like, wow, I'm maturing. Like I'm happy for her. Like I was really like happy for her that she met Gronk. And yeah, that was like pretty much it of that dream. I was like, this is fucking weird. But then like after that, like I had some psycho dream right after that. Basically, I was like trying to pick up my iPad and my phone in a basketball court. I was trying to get
Yeah.
out of there while I seen some dude with a knife walking towards me, and then I got stabbed and I died. So like, yeah, so that was like it was crazy. I don't know what frequency I was watching on YouTube the night before, but yeah, it was some whacked out fucking dreams, man. It went from like nice, wholesome dreams to like
Yeah.
murder, like insane murder. But hey, it is what it is, man. Dreams are crazy. The
Yeah.
dream world is crazy.
I had a dream as well, and I think this is I think this is what start off one of the topics that I wanted to get into, how I feel like everything is actually planned in life.
Predetermined.
Not maybe the little things, but like certain aspects of it, right? Maybe you could force yourself out of it and like maybe you ruin it and then you die and then you got to come back because you just fucked up. You strayed off the path, right? When you knew you should have been on that path. But very little dream. I had a dream that sometimes I put two different color socks on. Sometimes I wear a white sock on the left foot and a gray on the right. That's just how I roll. Okay. It's just
This
how
is
I
real
roll.
life.
This is real life.
You wear a gray and a white.
Yeah.
Like just mix it up, like mix it up.
I might be wearing that right now, which I am. I'm
Wow.
wearing gray right, white, white left. Okay.
I've done it by
And
accident where I just left the house and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hope nobody sees.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I had a blue and a black on. I was like, what is this?
So I dreamt that I put two white socks on,
Like a normal person.
like a normie.
On me.
And on my right foot, I took the white sock off and put a gray one on. Okay. Now the next day, I woke up. I put two white socks on. I got new pairs of socks from Amazon. I put them on.
Congrats.
The right one wasn't very comfortable, so I put a gray one on. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird. So here's the only thing that it could be. Either I'm a lunatic, which obviously, but also we time travel when we're sleeping. So we already know what's going on. Or the third is it's predetermined. But so the dream though had to have meant either I got in touch with something, I'm a lunatic, or it's all predetermined and I saw something that was already going to happen, which I've done in dreams. I've
It's
had
done.
dreams
Yeah.
that that's going to
People have
happen.
had that. Yeah. You hear that like quite often. Like they dreamt like future things that happen to them. Normally it's like important stuff and not about socks.
Right. But it's
Underwear. It's all about underwear.
is it time traveling?
It could be. It could be going to another dimension. The dreamland is another dimension where you kind of like could create it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But your dreamland could be like, yo, everybody's wearing different socks, hopping around, you know.
Right.
And I'm in my dreamland. Every Gronk is banging one of my ex girlfriends. So who knows what's going on in the dreamland? It's crazy. It
Well,
really is crazy.
it is crazy. And I realized something the other day, Mike. If everything is predetermined, right? Then our lives are basically chat GBT, whatever that fucking website is. Okay. Our
Yeah,
life is that. So chat GBT, is it chat GBT? Yeah, right. Like the ultimate goal is going to come out. You give it some things, you throw some shit in there, it shuffles it up, it comes out, and then, but it brings you to that goal. So
okay.
if you like, you believe in the manifestations and stuff like that in life and all that stuff, right? So at the end of the day, if you do believe in manifesting, you don't know how you're going to get there, right? But the goal is there. And then Chat GBT comes in and just fucking goes crazy with it because there's unlimited paths on how to get you somewhere, right? Say you want to be a musician. You don't know the path that will get you there. You might bust your ass constantly, like going to all these shows trying to get fans. Nobody does anything. Then you put out a single on YouTube, and some producer finds you, and he's like, "Oh, I like that." That's one path. You can come out with countless amounts of paths on how to get to somewhere,
Right,
but
right.
you don't really know the path. You could try to forge your own fucking path, but is there any point to force the path? Or just let Chat GBT, let AI take over and just get you where you're supposed to be.
Let it happen like that way. I
Yeah,
mean, you're describing like Chat GBT is like destiny.
it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like this, I don't know, the whole Chat GBT. Actually, it's funny you mention that because I clicked the button on Zoom now to
Yeah, what's that all
AI
about?
to AI this summary of the podcast. Are you getting that?
Yeah,
So we're gonna get a summary of this podcast, I guess, when it's over.
sick.
So AI is like kind of like recording us now because I want to see like what's it about. I mean, sure, like it's probably gonna take our like livelihood, our personalities, and make
Yeah,
fucking other humans and replicate us, and then it'd just be a bunch of
yeah.
Mike and Nicks running around talking about fucking propaganda socks and Rob Gronkowski
You know,
and
it'd be cool.
and shit.
It'd be cool if if they used our voices, if they summarized this episode and used our voices to explain as the summary.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty fucking badass.
You know?
I don't know if it works that way. I'm thinking it's just text, like words,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like, I mean, you see the videos, like the people, like they had a video on Twitter of like AOC, Alexandria Cortez, and she was like talking something about like it was funny. They made her sound so real,
uh,
and they made her say like how we should go to the sun
yeah.
to see if it's really global warming and to see how hot it is. She's like, we should travel to the sun. And then they were like, they made her say, like, but we should only travel there at night because it'd probably be less hotter. Dude, it came out so perfect. If I could find it right now, let me see if
Yeah.
I could like find it and then like air it on this like podcast. Let me see if I could type it in.
Dude, my favorite AI still is just seeing actors just get completely plowed out that aren't really them. Porn, porn AI for actresses.
I don't want the fucking. I mean,
I love it. I
that
don't
would
watch.
never leave the house. If I had like porn, like I think I mentioned this before, like porn, like the girl from Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like if I had like her as a porn,
They have that, Mike.
do they really?
Yeah,
All right, send it to me. I gotta find. Let's start. Let's cut this podcast short.
yeah.
All right. So let me see if I can play this. See if I could hear it.
So, like, maybe we can study.
All right. Let me turn the volume up.
What the hell are we listening to again?
This is gonna be the AOC chat GBT where they made her sound like we should go to like the sun. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Let me see if I can share the screen. Share. All right, desktop two. Let's see. Share it. All right, bro. I got it. Here it is. You see it?
Yeah.
See the screen? All right. I'm gonna turn the volume up. So hopefully we'll be able to hear it clear. Here's Alexandria Cortez talking about climate change, how we need to analyze the sun. Here it is.
Amazing idea. So, like, maybe we can study the effects of global warming from the main source of all the heat in our solar system, the sun. Maybe I can convince Elon Musk, who is absolutely obsessed with me, by the way, to do something good with SpaceX and figure out a mission to the sun in order to get samples. I suggest we go at night because it would probably be too hot during the day, but we'll leave all that up to the scientists. I just.
That's great.
Dude, it is great, but it's absolutely terrifying at the same time.
It
They
looks so real.
so fucking clear.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy what's going on between like, I mean, there's robots now. A robot actually killed a human recently.
Really.
Yeah, in like South Korea, like they had robots there, two major robots that like packed boxes,
Yeah.
like shipping, you know,
Yeah.
and I guess
Doing my job.
yeah, pretty much. So like they're all gonna take all our jobs.
Yeah.
So this fucking robot, like I guess the guy, the actual human, was carrying a box. So
Yeah.
the robot just like, oh, box, and he went to grab it, and apparently it just like squished his whole fucking body or whatever, and
Yeah.
just yeah, killed him. Like it happened in like fucking South Korea or some shit. So
Yeah.
you gotta watch out for this shit, man.
This is a camera.
The robots, man. That's scary. We're in trouble. We're in serious trouble.
Between that and the aliens, did you hear about this?
Nope.
Another topic. Aliens in Peru.
Okay.
Aliens are fucking going to Peru at an alarming rate. Like apparently there's fucking they have photos up. You know, it's been going on through like September, October. They have pictures of 7 foot aliens. They're calling it the locals there are calling it palacaras or face peelers, whichever whatever the fuck that means. But it was updated, verified photos that this is real, and
Verified by who?
by dude, like the actual footage and pictures, they're verified.
I can't find anything on here. I can't see any pictures of them.
Yeah, go look up Peru and
I
aliens.
did. I see nothing.
You'll find maybe they scrubbed it. Maybe they scrubbed it off the internet. You gotta look for it on like Twitter, social media. Find the real source. If you try to Google shit like that, dude, they wipe that shit clean. They take that shit off. They don't want the truth hanging out. They want more and more propaganda spread to Americans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
So listen, the aliens are here.
Well, that's a little you got to send me what you're talking about because I don't see shit on here. I see some guy floating around on a pack flying in the air.
I mean, there's really nothing to say. It's just what they, I mean, besides the images and videos they had like, local stories, the lights in the skies over Peru.
Yeah.
It's been happening for a couple months. So, but little by little, they're trying a lot not to let that get out, because it's coming from like, Peru, fucking basically a third world fucking country. You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't want that shit fucking coming out of there. They probably have Peru locked down already.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think I might have the wrong flying aliens. Non-human.
They're around, man.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not, right?
But listen, it's all craziness.
It is craziness. Want to hear something even crazier?
Tell me.
So there's this law. It's called Benford's Law. Okay.
Never heard of it.
I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. And I tried to figure out if you can use this to your advantage. And I'm not quite sure that you can. So Benford's Law states that the number one will show up 30% of the time in anything. Okay. So if you're doing a study on, I don't know, just say you counted everything in your house, Mike. Okay. So say you have one dog, you have one computer, you have just say two TVs, right? You have like 30 of them. But and
No,
then I have nine pairs of shoes, okay? The number that starts with one of anything will come up 30% of the time. The number two will come up with, so you have two refrigerators, two, blah blah blah. It's a slope. It's a perfect slope that will naturally occur in the world. Okay. It occurs in population amounts. It occurs in like death rates. It occurs in fucking diseases. It is a naturally occurring fucking thing that happens. Now, it's it's so true that you can like remember Enron when it was they were like doing all this crazy shit, scamming and like all that shit and fudging their numbers. The people that audited them figured it out because if you take somebody's financials, it will follow that curve as well. But if you start seeing skews in the curve, that means there's something going on there. That means it's manipulated. Okay?
okay.
How fucking crazy is that?
I mean, yeah, I could see how it's manipulated because it's almost like a natural progression. You won't have like big fucking, manipulation type things without certain factors in it. So you can look at certain dates like, all right, maybe in 2020, something happened where you seen a big spike or the opposite way,
Yeah.
on some charts like that. And they would know, like, oh, that's the exception.
Right.
But yeah, to go like all the way, it's really like I understand what you're getting at, but I mean to do that with like everything
It works.
numbers, I'm like I don't know. I would have to
You
like
got to look at
what
you got
other
to
things we do like besides like counting stuff. Like what other
I don't know, but it
you know?
it basically yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something to it though, man. It's for it to occur like that. I understand like one is going to be the most, right? Because or is it? Why? Why is it the most? Because it's not just the number one. It's 10. It's 100. It's 100. It's 1,000. Those numbers come out more than 200 or 300 or 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. I know it's more difficult to get to a number nine, but it's not more difficult to get to 90 than it is 100, right?
Okay.
You're following me, right? Like
Kind of. Yeah,
the
like
first digit has to be a one. So it could be, like say for example, Enron, say their financials every January, like just say that there was $1 million in profit happened 30% of the time. 2 million happens 17% of the time. 3 million happens 10%. 4 million happens, blah blah blah. So now if they're only if the natural occurrence will give you a rounded slope. Now if they're skewing their numbers, right? if they throw in an extra $4 million, even though it was supposed to be 1 million, and then an extra fucking $8 million in profit, even though it's supposed to be 2 million, that's where the skew happens. Okay. So now this curve goes out of its natural alignment. But the fucked up thing is, why does that curve happen? And how can it be so fucking perfect that all you have to do is throw a few fucking skewed numbers in there and it blows the whole fucking thing up?
I have no idea, man. But I'm gonna look more into Ben Ford's law. Ben
Benford's
Ford's,
law. Yeah.
Benford's or Ben Ford's is Ben.
One word. One word. Benford.
But is the guy Ben Ford's came up with it? So they made it one word.
Yeah. No. So he came up with it, but I think somebody else came up with it first. So and this is how they figured it out. They were in like a library, and they were like, back in the day they had like paper, like books that were a calculator. Okay.
Okay.
And this one guy figured out that he would go through all these books that were calculators, and it would be like only the first pages were used. He was like, and then nothing afterwards was really like, looked like it was, because you could tell like when a book's been like,
Worn out. Yeah.
yeah. He's like, in every single one of them, only the first like, few pages were ever used. And he was like, why is that? And then he started fucking figuring it out that like it's because this is only used 30%. And the I don't know how he figured out the whole fucking curve thing, but I don't know. For some reason, it blew my mind to the point where I woke up the next day and I was like trying to figure it out. Like, it's just mind boggling to me how something like that can naturally just occur it's in everything, apparently, though, Mike. All these different stats, man. Like,
Yeah.
population. Like, so that means if the population in China goes down to 900,000, that means, or, in a city in China goes down to 900,000, something's got to replace that to get up to a 1 now or something like that, to be 1 million or 110,000 from 90. So it continues the fucking natural curve. Populations can't just, like, all the cities in the whole on the planet follow that fucking curve. So if one goes out of whack, another one has to make up for it. It's a natural fucking thing that just keeps going.
Huh. I mean, to me,
It's the most mind-boggling thing I've ever heard for some reason. I don't know. It boggles my fucking mind.
well, to me, it's like I kind of associate with like, mathematics, how it's like, it's mathematics like, you know, real in the world. They say everything is like pretty much connected by like numbers, right?
Yeah. Here's a gnarly one. So they can figure out. I think they can figure out AI pictures. Yes, AI pictures from real pictures. And this is how you take a picture. Say you took a picture of me right now. You could use all the pixels have a number, right? They're all related to a 1 through 9 or whatever. Now, when you manipulate it and resave it, the pixel numbers change and they fucking don't form the curve anymore. So on a regular saved picture, your pixels will form the Benford's law curve.
Really?
And then when it's manipulated and saved, if it's saved more than once, it goes out of fucking whack, and there'll be more 4s than fucking 1s, this, that, and the other thing, and they can tell how that is a fake fucking picture.
So that's how the nerds figure it out if it's fake or fucking real.
Yeah. So
Wow.
fucking
Seems like a lot of work.
Wrap your mind around that one.
Yeah, like listen, honestly, I can't because I'm not that fucking smart. I'm not that big of a nerd. So right now, you just kind of blow my mind with this shit.
Yeah.
But now, like, I understand. Like, there's no way I can fucking do it. Like, I just look at the picture. Remember the old books? Like, you went to the dentist and you see, like, oh, this picture and that picture is different. Why is it different? Because this bitch is wearing a hat in this one and she wasn't wearing the hat in the other one.
Yeah.
Now you're talking to me about Benford's law and a fucking curve, and you got to deal with numbers and everything. I'm like, huh? Like, I didn't learn any of this shit like when I was at the dentist waiting room. That's fucking nuts.
Yo, that means that the give and takes of certain things, or like cause and effects and all that shit, and like, I don't know, if one thing happens, something else has to happen in order to counteract it, you know? It just has to. That's just the way of the world, right? There's yin yang and
Yang, yeah.
like fucking with every action, there is a legit reaction somewhere. Or an equal or an opposite reaction. Is that how it is or something?
Yeah, something. Any reaction, consequence, you like that?
Yeah. Holy shit, man. That's the thing, man. There's so much going on to make you say to yourself, is it planned out? Is it all fucking just are we in control of anything at all? Because if that fucking law has to become is true, then we are controlled by it and we don't even fucking know it.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think we need to go see we need to go down to China and see Miss Miyagi to finish this shit out. Because in Chinese cosmetology, like the yin is described as like receptive, while the
Yeah.
yang is active in principle, but it's seen in the form of all things, patterns of change and difference, such as seasonal cycles, evolution, shit like that. It's crazy.
And
It's just mind boggling shit, man. If you really sit down and think about it and not are brainwashed by
yeah,
like TV or like the phone or anything like that. If you really go down these other paths, which we're trying to do here on the Mix It Up podcast,
yeah.
hopefully with a little bit of success. I mean, obviously Nick is trying to reach out to me with this, but I'm having a hard time because it's more thought provoking, and I'm not used to really using more thought. I would have to do more research on the Benford's law to try to figure out like other aspects of that like curve you're talking about and like the numbers. But listen, I believe it. I believe any of that kind of shit.
There's probably
Read
there's
you.
probably there's probably so much more. Like I know we talked about phi, which is like the golden ratio on here before. It's like 1.618 or something like that. Something like that. And it's supposed to be like the most beautiful, like perfect. It's basically creation and stuff like that. Like and it's the way that I can never think of the word, but the tree branches form. They form in this, like, tree branches aren't random. Like there's not just a random tree branch, random tree branch. They form in a like a lot of the trees anyway, in a scientific pattern. And it's like how like a seashell is formed as well. And apparently maybe we are formed that way, but it's like you take a rectangle and you put another rectangle here, another rectangle here, and then you put a circle in it. It just forms this like spiral. I don't know the exact thing because I'm not a genius either. But when you start looking into these crazy like anomalies that happen in the universe, it fucking blows your mind. And it's just that one and this other Benford's law. And those are only two. There's probably so many that you could be like, what?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's so interesting too. And it's like, it's just so fucking interesting, man.
That's
Oh,
why that's why I believe in like karma, all that kind of shit. Believe like the energies you put out is energy you're gonna receive back. So if you like living as like a miserable piece of shit, the kind of like that's the kind of shit you're gonna get back. You're gonna get a miserable piece of shit thrown back in your face. But if you change your energy and live like a goofy lifestyle where you let like people you love bang Gronk, you can live a
right.
fucking cheesy, nerfy kind of life where you just everything's good.
Yeah. You know, most of the time, if you just go with the flow of things, it usually all works out for you better off.
Yeah.
Because if you fight things, it's just not good. You can fight it, you can fight it, you can fight it, and then you say to yourself, "Why am I even fighting this? Why don't I just let it go and like just ask for some peace inside?" And then you find peace, and then the fucking situation just it resolves itself. It just fucking unfolds in front of you. You know?
Let the current take you away, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Let your guardian angel guide you. You know,
yeah, yeah,
maybe that's the ticket.
yeah,
The winning ticket.
yeah. Do it when it crush it, right?
I guess.
You
Do it,
know,
let it crush it.
I read something the other day, and I know a lot of people. There's like two types of people in the world. There's people that believe in like manifestation, and then there's people that don't believe in it, right? So a lot of the times, the people that don't believe in it think that people who believe in it are just sitting there, in the grass smoking weed, just saying, "Yeah, man, I manifest this and it's gonna come to me," right? But
You're a bum if you think that.
it's not true. When you manifest something, it puts your body into action as well. It's setting an intention subconsciously. Then next thing you know, you're just up doing it.
Yeah, right. You're not
Or
gonna be a lazy bum sitting there in manifestation and don't do shit and
right,
expect things of greatness to shine down upon your ass. It doesn't
right.
work that way. But
No,
if you think about it, you think and do it, you know?
right.
Do it when it crushes.
You want to crush it.
It really is.
Pretty much. Yo, speaking of crush, how about orange crush soda with crushed ice? Is there anything more delicious than orange soda with crushed ice?
Yes, everything else that I've ever drank in my life. Lactate chocolate milk is way better than that. Orange Crush by REM is better than that fucking drink. The actual song.
I used to love orange soda with crushed ice back in the day. Now I don't even fuck with orange soda. You grow up and you're like,
Yeah, you become an adult. You know what I used to like too? Back in the day, Ecto Cooler from fucking High C. It was green, but it just tasted like orange juice. I don't know. That kind of shit probably, I don't know what the fuck was in it to make it green,
yeah.
but that shit hurt us. I'm telling you, as a kid. And I used to drink that by the gallon. Remember, you had to take the big can, you had to crack it open with the can
Oh yeah.
on both sides.
Oh,
For
yeah.
some reason, it was you had to do it on both sides. I never understood that. I'm like, just crack the hole and let it pour out, but you had to do it on one end and the other.
For airflow.
That's what it is.
Comes out
Airflow.
better. Comes out easier, yeah. Flows
It
better.
comes out. Okay, flows better. Okay. All right, but that shit, like, if they had Ecto Cooler, they did come out with it like 10 years ago. I mean, crazy knows he fucking probably has a whole thing in his shed,
Yeah.
of like Ecto Cooler in the back. So I probably got to borrow some of that, but I would drink that today for sure. Ecto Cooler was fucking absolutely delicious. It was one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah.
And it had Slimer on it, so it was cool.
It did. Yo, I gotta give some people shout outs on here. Number one, we always gotta shout out Marshmallow, right? All the marshmallows out there because they're tasty, fluffy, and delicious.
Yep.
I gotta shout out one person in particular because they took the time after hearing the podcast last week and heard how angry I was about everybody being bitches and not coming out to the fucking meeting. And I gotta shout out Eugene for that. He texted me. He
Okay.
said happy birthday, Nick. Because he didn't know it was my birthday. Because you just don't know things like that.
Yeah, right.
He wished me a happy birthday, and he said, I don't know if what else he said, but he said, I keep in touch with you guys through the podcast, and that's nice.
Yeah, you're right.
It's nice. But Eugene, I want to see you in real life too. I want to kiss you. I want to kiss your lips. I want to kiss you on your lips.
And I want to watch. I'll be in the corner drinking my Ecto Cooler watching.
But Eugene was like, you know what? He had the balls. He had the balls to text me and say, you're right, man. I miss you guys too. All that good stuff. All that good stuff.
That's nice. I didn't get that text from him. That's nice.
He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you.
I know.
But
He texted you.
all you other pieces of shit out there.
Here we go. Here's the bitterness.
I'm coming for you, Murdoch. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
That's funny.
No, I'm not bitter anymore.
That's good. Just gotta let it go, bro. Karma.
Yeah, I let it go. But yeah, big shout out to the lima bean. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. We got any other topics?
We got. Let's see. Just a couple quick things. Dave Chappelle. Fans walked out of one of his shows after he blasted like Israel's war crimes in Gaza.
Yeah.
And pro-Palestine's losing their jobs. So Dave Chappelle, listen to him. He's always right. He always, no matter, even if it goes against like the grain or whatever, and all the propaganda that gets spilled, he says it how it is. So you got to appreciate like a comedian like that.
Oh, I got one for you.
It just makes me sick.
What?
It just makes me sick. That's all about that kind of shit. Like to hate and try to cancel people and shit like that and be negative when you're trying to push your agenda on somebody. Just because you're pushing that agenda doesn't mean it's good.
Right.
Just a quick little point like that.
You got a quick one too. I saw an Instagram video of Dana White, like the owner of UFC, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
President. He put up a video. He was just talking about this. I don't know how long ago this was, but he said he put up a video on his personal I think Instagram or Facebook of Donald Trump, and one of their biggest sponsors said, "Take that down," and his response was, "Fuck you."
Yes. Go.
he's like,
Wait.
he's like, "You don't tell me what the fuck to do."
Yes.
And like he was like, he's like, and if people start telling other people to fuck off, then it's gonna be like a better fucking place.
Dude, he's the best because you know how Bud Light, we had the problem with Bud Light. We talked probably a full episode how Bud Light has been down in the tanks and shit, cancel culture, that Dylan Mulvaney shit.
Yeah.
Bud Light actually partnered with UFC, Dana White, and they asked Dana about all the Dylan Mulvaney shit. He's like, I don't give a fuck what they say. Fuck them. You know, people think that Bud Light wrote me a script to fucking say about this. I never fucking read a script from anybody. Anything that comes out of my mouth is from me only. I'll never read a script. He's like, Anheuser-Busch Bud Light has done more for the vets, the vets' children that lost vets of the war, their children getting free scholarships to colleges. They had our back for years, giving a lot of Americans jobs. And he was all about it. He's like, fuck these cancel culture freaks, fuck their little nerds behind like their computer in their mom's basement. Like, he went off. Like, that's how I want to hear the owner of like Bud Light talk. Like,
Yeah.
be real, be fucking strong, and be like, fuck you pussies. I don't give
Right.
shit what you say. You're ruining the country. You are. You
Yeah.
pieces of fucking shits out there.
Right.
You little babies. You look little fucking babies out there.
Right.
They're the worst. That's the people, the trolls that we really do got to kidnap one day.
Yeah. We
Did you
do.
see the UFC fight the other day with Bill Burr's wife when Trump walked in and sat down next to front row for a UFC fight? Bill Burr was right there with his wife. His wife flipped Donald Trump the bird, and they
Really?
caught her like giving him the double bird. And then people went after Bill Burr. It's like, Bill Burr, I'm not going to listen to your comedy anymore. You better get your wife in check. All
Oh,
this shit. Yeah. So that's a podcast. It just happened over the weekend, and Monday he comes out with the Monday morning podcast. So
yeah.
I'm assuming this past Monday he probably talked about it. So if you want to take a break from this podcast, go check out the Bill Burr's podcast and probably listen. I'm going to listen to that later and see what he had to say about that, because people went after him on social media, shit, like for his wife flipping
Yeah.
Donald Trump the bird. I'm like, it was still weird for her to do that. You know what I mean? Don't flip the fucking, If I seen Biden, I'd have more respect for him. I wouldn't be like, hey, you old piece of shit. Can you fucking hear me? Fuck you. I wouldn't do anything like that. It's kind of like it's childish to me. She shouldn't have done that. Bill
I'd be
Burr.
like, I'd be like, oh shit, it's Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, man. Hey, maybe I'll like throw a piece of paper at him. Like, wake
Yeah.
up.
Maybe I'd say exactly what I said to LT. Like, yo, what up, LT? What
Yeah.
up? What up, Joe Biden?
He'd be like, yeah, I'm washing my hands. I'm in the bathroom, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm washing my hands. I don't want to get violent right now. Oh, shit. I'll wash them for you.
Poor Joe. Poor Joe Biden. But that's what happened, man. That's what's going on in the world. So I guess we'll wrap this podcast up now.
right.
Well, real quick thing. Did my annual physical. Just a quick shout out. I got my blood pressure back to excellent. 120 over 80, motherfuckers. That's the one in there. What else? I gotta get my kidneys function. They was like numbers were a little high. So basically she said I gotta like rehydrate, gotta drink more water.
Electrolyte sponsored.
That's why I gotta drink some of them. I gotta buy some of them. Coconut's not my favorite though. I gotta be honest.
You have coconut left over your house?
I had one that I only took two from you.
Yeah, but you don't. I thought maybe you got a case or anything like that.
No, I mean I drank it because I fucking needed them. The way I drank like a couple weekends ago, I was like, I need this shit, and I pounded one down. But I prefer like the berry and like all the other flavors. But that's just me. So I got to do that, and my cholesterol's fucking high.
Yeah.
I always had problems with cholesterol. I think maybe because I'm eating too many eggs. Because I've been like I put up like this is what's weird. I weigh 227 pounds, right? I'm
What?
from 216 last year, right? At November. But my body fat, down went down 1%. There goes the one number. Yo, so so my body fat, because they have these new scales at the fucking doctor's office, they got everything on there.
Yeah.
It tells you fucking everything. And so she had like everything down. She's like, oh, you've been, you obviously lifting weights or whatever, putting on. I'm like, yeah, I've been putting on more muscle. So I went on, my muscle mass is like increased. So yeah. It's
How the
weird.
fuck can a scale tell your body fat?
Unless it's make believe, you know what I mean? But
Gotcha.
the scale that I got in my house, it tells you all that. But I have to sign up on, like, it's like $5 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
So I could do all, but I haven't done that like since I got it. The first on the scale I bought on Instagram was like the first 6 months for free. So I was measuring my body fat, and you step on barefoot and you step on the scale, and they have sensors at the bottom of like your feet, and it reads like your body fat doing that, which is fucking crazy. But I remember back in the day when I was like doing like physical shit, like when I was a trainer, they were like getting these clamps, and they were clamping around my fat, like on my fucking sides. I'm like, yo, you're tickling me. I'm like, what are you doing? And they do with numbers, they measure it out, probably the Benford's fucking law. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm a linebacker now. I'm almost as big as fucking Gronk. But
Oh,
anyway, that's a wrap on this mix up podcast. We'll talk to you next week. Like, subscribe, do all that fucking shit.
that's it.
Don't be a dick.
And remember, time's a wasting, and do it.
Win it. Crush it. And stay the fuck away from AI. Peace.
I'm the cat in the box.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Hey, your sergeant marijuana to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your generation?